Hello dear traders, and welcome to another update on the market. For today, I decided to cover USD versus Canadian dollar. I will speak about the gold market, crude oil, and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start with the USD versus Canadian dollar first. So basically, as alerted in my previous forecasts, I expected upside on the USD Canadian dollar since last week, and we had a nice upside run, and basically price reached and actually broke this 1.2640, which was the minimum projection based on this upside swing and this expectation, after the free pushes down. And the next pivot that is likely that USD Canadian dollar can trade in the short term speaking is around 1.2735, which will be basically the area, and I will show you now, which will be the area from this, like the mean of this whole consolidation. So it's a fairest price from this whole consolidation. And then the next pivot will be the highs, the cluster of the highs around 1.2870. So my advice is to watch for buying opportunities on the intraday pullbacks, and still I expect higher price in USD versus Canadian dollar. The next market I want to cover is gold market, and gold market finally did something of the mean, right? So there was an attempt for the yesterday, and the price actually broke a little this pivot high at 1964, but basically it didn't survive above, pardon. And if you check, we can also go to 4 hour. So what I was waiting here is the price not just to break. I wanted the price to break and hold above, eventually create some pullback on the light volume and pull back on no heavy supply, but it didn't happen. And this is usually how the market can do. Market can break and fake, market can break and test reject or break reject. In this example, we have a break and reject. So there was no consistency, and we didn't have a value which to build above this key pivot level. So market basically just broke this 1966 and sold off. So now we can use our profile, for example, and we can place, and we can see the mean of this whole consolidation is around 1932. So because of that fake move yesterday, and I don't see that today is the day like we have any spectacular demand for the gold. So there is a good chance that price can back towards the mean at 1932. So that is a potential chance for the reversion to the mean potential play on the gold. Speaking of the crude oil, we had this sell-off to retest this area here, and market basically back towards this mean, the falling middle Keltner line. And now basically it's still in consolidation, right? So we have this area, we have a pivot highs at 98.70, and we have this pivot low at 93. So I would like to see the price either to get away from here, try to take this 103.20, or basically to sell off, trade lower below 90, let's say 93 level, and open the door for a test of the 90.55 or 89.40. So technically consolidation is active on the crude oil, and I will watch for the price first to get away from this contraction and then to confirm further direction. In terms of the Bitcoin, we basically said last week that there was a beautiful bear flag here into the downside cycle, and that basically sell-off. We expected a sell-off and the downside continuation, and market reached both objectives. It reached 41,550. It reached also broke 40,000 mark. So the next pivot based on this that I have here, I don't see any divergence as well. So yeah, some rallies are always possible, or normal reactions, in the price. I expect the price to continue lower, eventually to trade towards the 38,000 or even 37,500, which is basically the area where we have the cluster of the lows here. So I still expect lower prices. Maybe this is right now where rally is in the play, but after the period of the correction, and so I expect a further downside continuation. So watching for selling opportunities on the rallies will be a preferable strategy under the current condition. So that will be all for today's update. I hope that you did enjoy, and basically trade safe as always, and see you tomorrow morning.